This is the brand new OnePlus 5, and a lot of people are excited about the brand new dual camera system, which is made up of a primary 16 megapixel camera with f1.7 aperture and a secondary telephoto lens that is 20 megapixels with an f2.6 aperture, and this gives you 2 times optical zoom. I've been having a lot of fun testing out the 16 megapixel front-facing camera and using this as my primary mobile camera for the last week or so, taking tons of 4K video and photo samples. So I'm sure you want to know if the cameras are any good. Well, let me share my experience so far with the OnePlus 5 cameras. You can shoot in a few different aspect ratios and modes. I mostly shot in auto HDR, but you can force it into HDR, which gives you a totally different shot, or you can shoot in 16:9, which is also nice, but I stuck to the 4:3 throughout the time of my testing. In daytime photos, you get some really impressive images. The colors are very accurate. I appreciated the accurate white balance, and the highlights are handled very well, some of the best I've seen actually, and you get just enough saturation, adequate contrast, plenty of detail, and importantly, great dynamic range. So after reviewing about 200 or so photos, I was really impressed. When it comes to the macro focusing distance, I was also pleasantly surprised, creating some really nice shots, vibrant with nice depth of field, and if you use the secondary telephoto lens, you can get some really respectable macro shots. The telephoto lens giving you a 2x optical zoom is very detailed, and I love this for flexibility, and now I can get this feature on the Android side, and I love it. The consistency of the colors and highlights are what really caught my eye with the OnePlus 5's camera. These are flagship level camera results, and the images prove it. There is also a portrait mode that is very similar to how the setup on the iPhone 7 Plus is, and the software depth effect is very nice. It's instant unlike the Galaxy S8, and the results are very impressive all around, giving you that DSLR-like look. It's not perfect though. Sometimes it doesn't work right, and some of the outlines just don't come out perfectly, but when it hits, it's awesome. Even in indoor or lower lighting conditions, where the iPhone 7 Plus will tell you that more light is required, the same conditions, the OnePlus 5 handled it like a champ, and the noise reduction, despite the aperture change, is impressive. Even when the lighting conditions start getting worse, the OnePlus 5's primary camera keeps up, the saturation gets bumped up, but the details and contrasts are on point while maintaining sharpness, but naturally you will get more noise in the telephoto shots. Food and indoor shots are also good, but when you get to more extreme low light conditions, the auto mode does a decent job, but heavy noise can be introduced because the auto mode tends to crank up the ISO, but if you have the time, I would kick it into manual mode. Even just adjusting it into a lower ISO can make a world of difference. You can get a much cleaner shot. The OnePlus 5 is capable of taking some nice low light shots, but just like any other mobile camera, extreme low light can be a challenge. When it comes to the 4K video, it's very detailed, full of dynamic range, and once again, I love the way it handles the highlight detail, very realistic colors. This is totally untouched, direct from the camera. The only problem is if you're doing a handheld video like most of you will be doing, there is no stabilization at all in 4K, so you'll see how shaky the video is, and if you're walking, you will sure get nauseous when playing back the video, but if you flip it into 1080p, it's ultra smooth because it uses the electronic stabilization, it kicks in, so if you don't care about 4K, you should probably record in 1080p. The 4K video in lower light conditions is pretty good also. It does end up favoring the higher saturation just like the photos, but I actually don't mind this look, and while it might not be color accurate, it has a really pleasant look. Even in harsher low light conditions, the OnePlus 5 does a good job of reducing noise, even though if you punch in, there is noise there, but the video is usable. If you reduce the exposure, you can get some very nice looking video, but I wish there was optical image stabilization on both of these lenses. That would have made a huge difference on handheld 4K video, maybe next time, and I wish there was a pro mode for video as well. If you care about the front-facing camera, this is a 16 megapixel f2.0 sensor. Here are some samples from it. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, so here's what you can expect from the 16 megapixel front-facing camera, and you can see it takes 1080p video. You can get an idea of what the audio sounds like, and here's what the stabilization will look like if you're walking. In low light, it can get pretty noisy and the details can be lost, But if you use the flash mode, you'll get much better colors and exposure. So if you're a nighttime selfie taker, definitely use this mode. So what do you guys think of the OnePlus 5's new dual camera system? I mean, are you impressed? Are you underwhelmed? Let me know in the comment section below. During this time, I did do comparison shots with the Galaxy S8 and the iPhone 7 Plus, so let me know if you want to see that video by hitting that like button. After using this camera, I'm impressed, and while it's not perfect, I would say this is worthy of calling it a flagship camera. Since this phone costs almost $300 less than a Galaxy S8, I would say we're looking at the new best for bang buck camera on a mobile device right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe for more OnePlus 5 content and hit that like button for this dude with the outfit. Enjoy that dance, and I'll see you guys in the next one.